Hello and welcome back to the Shit Show. It is episode 3, I think.
I like that you questioned that.
That is, memory is not my strong suit. We all know this. But this is episode 3. So as always, we're going to take real life, relatable challenges about nutrition, working out, and a healthy lifestyle, and break down what the science says and how do you actually handle that in real, messy, everyday life. And I am here with Sasha Myers.
Yes, hi, I am Sasha Myers, and we are here for the Shit Show episode 3. And like Michelle said, knowing what to do and actually doing it are two totally different things. And this is something that we struggle with too, and so do the people that we work with. So it's totally human, totally normal, but that's what the Shit Show is all about.
Yeah. Navigating that messy part. Thank you.
Yeah.
For reminding me I'm here.
Wait, it's my turn to intro us, isn't it? Oh my gosh. Okay, so just to be clear too, it really is a shit show because outside is disgusting. It's a snowstorm when we're filming this. This is why we're doing it via Zoom. And so we don't have our normal relaxed cup of coffee and like sitting side by side. So I missed my cue on this one. But I'm gonna get it right now. So every shit show we start off with something that we are both struggling with and something that we are both killing. So Michelle, what are you struggling with and what are you killing?
I'm going to throw out there that we both had to think long and hard about this because it's been kind of a struggle this couple weeks in our head. So the thing I picked, though, that I'm in control of, that's not like my tech defying and rising up against me, I've been overscheduling, both with saying yes to more social things and more stuff than I probably have bandwidth for. And a little bit of it is out of my control. So it is just, there's been unexpected work stuff. But I know I need to be more careful about how much space I take up because then I get exhausted. I make poor eating choices. I missed a bunch of workouts last week. And then I feel gross. Like it just kind of rolls away from me. So I've been working on that largely by rejigging my schedule and also setting up alarms on my phone that tell me to go to bed on time and to like stop saying yes all of the time. So working on it, but it's been hard. This time of year is super hard for that. Killing, I've been doing a really good job of staying on top of my meal planning, but also knowing that I'm exhausted. So I've had some like really easy, really simple, like emergency type meals. Like I can throw this frozen chicken from the freezer right into the air fryer with salad kit, and it has saved me complete takeout, zero for almost 2 months. Like unless it was a planned one, so much money saved, and I feel better. Like especially so many treats, like my gut just feels happier. So honestly, I'm pretty thrilled about that one. What about you, Sasha? What are you struggling with, and what are you killing?
Yeah, good question. I'm ready for it. So life has been very stressful for me currently. And the two things, the struggling and killing, are actually related. So I am struggling with my meals in the sense that because I'm really stressed right now, I'm finding it I lose my appetite when I'm stressed, so I'm finding myself kind of like skipping meals or delaying meals or just missing them in general. So the thing I'm struggling with right now is just staying consistent because I do plan them and I do make them so they are there. So it's just gently reminding myself to actually have it. So that's the thing that I am struggling with right now.
Yeah,
The thing that I am killing though is everything else amidst all of the stress. So I've been really consistent with my workouts in a way that feels good for me. So it's not going to stress me more. I also do like a daily meditation and then I journal. So those are the things right now that have really been supporting me through this kind of stressful time, as well as the nourishing of the body. But like I said, I'm somebody who loses my appetite when I'm stressed. So that one has been a little bit more of a struggle bus for me.
Yeah, and it is actually really common for a lot of us. We get like kind of hungry, snacky with like moderate stress, but when we're peak, it just like goes away, and so it's super hard. Like I think we've all been there. But also, can we give Sasha like a round of applause for the fact that she journals and workouts out and meditates every day, despite really being like right at the end of her stretch. So like kudos and applause wherever you are. And so today our actual topic is goals. We are creeping closer to the new year. And we know some of you get really stressed out thinking about goals and resolutions and like don't want to look at it or have historically set them and like failed over and over again. And that feels pretty shitty. And some of you get really excited, but maybe set really big audacious goals, which is great, but don't have a plan to sustain them. And so you end up kind of setting the same ones every year or not feeling very successful. So we want to talk about how do you look at goals and resolutions differently so you can get to where you want to go with health, nutrition, fitness, body, whatever, but do it in a way that actually is enjoyable and you can keep up, right? That like works with
And
your
inspires you.
balance. Yeah, like feels good as opposed
Yeah.
to heavy and punishing and like,
Yes.
oh my God, the deadline's coming. March 31st is here and I haven't lost 35 pounds. So something to think about because we don't want you to miss this kind of like positive energy for this time of year. And we don't want you to feel stressed out about what that usually looks like. So when I do this with clients, I look at a couple of things. So I actually really encourage my clients not to even think about them as resolutions because that tends to come with big, airy, undefinable things like lose 20 pounds or run a marathon or something else that's big and sort of hard to nail down. And what I really want you to do is think more about how you want to feel and then also go, okay, what are the actions that go with that? So if we're setting sort of a goal, you might want to lose 20 pounds, but that's something we're going to write down. We're going to write down what it takes to get there. So what are the things you actually have to do day to day differently? What's the help you need to get? And then pick a couple of those that you can actually check off. Because what we know is that when you can do things towards a goal, you're more likely to achieve it. But we don't think, I want to buy a car and then go, okay, I'm going to do the research and sit at home and be super frustrated. But all that research doesn't pan out just like a car in my driveway. We know we have to save money. We do have to do the research. We have to test drive them. We have to buy said car and bring it home. Like we need to focus on what you have to do as opposed to what is
Great
that
example.
thing, right? So that is what I want you guys to focus on is how you want to feel versus like the really specific metrics, but also like what do you have to do as opposed to like what does that look like? What about you, Sash? So I know you have a little bit of like a system for setting goals that are more doable and enjoyable. Tell us about it.
I would love to tell you about it. Would love nothing more. So when I sit down and meet with members or potential members for the first time, one of the things that I will always ask is, what are your top 3 goals? And I ask this because a lot of times people can really easily kind of think about what those things are that are really important to them. And they'll say them, like they will say things like, well, I want to lose 20 pounds, or I want a really strong core, or I want to be strong, or I want to be flexible, like all of those things. And I purposely ask, what are your top 3 goals? Because I want to hear those answers, because those are the things that they are, and ourselves included, that we are trying to achieve with the training. But once they have told me what their top 3 goals are, my next question is, for each of those 3 things, how will you know when you have achieved it? And I find this to be really helpful in clarifying what it actually is that you're looking for. So, for example, when someone comes in and says, one of their top 3 goals is, I just want to be more flexible. Okay. So, how will you know you have achieved it? Well, I'll know I've achieved it when I can get up off the floor without like struggling. And so that's actually a little bit different than flexibility. And so it's then going, okay, the thing you actually want to do is to, we'll say, get up off the floor without struggling or having to use assistance. And so then we can actually look and go, that's actually what you want out of it. And we'll do that with all of them. So it could be like, I want a really strong core. And it will be like, well, how will you know I've achieved it? Well, I've achieved it when I can ride my bike for X number of minutes without my back hurting. Well, okay. So is that actually, core strength, or is that maybe some sport specific training that we have to look at? Or is that actually maybe even a bike fit, right? And so I find it really helpful to say, what are your top 3 goals? And then taking that next step and going, once you have your top 3, how will I know I've achieved it? Because then you actually have what you want. It's kind of like that game. What is the game? The yes and game for improv.
I don't know. I didn't see any sort of theater. I'm not the right person for this.
Oh, really? Yeah. So if you say something like, if I ask you a question, like, we'll play it, Michelle. We'll play it right now. What would be a top goal for you? What is one of your top goals to achieve?
Good question. I mean, I do need to be able to tread water for 20 minutes for my scuba certification. So let's use that one.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So then I would say, okay, yes, and
I would like to not feel like I'm dying while I do it.
Okay, yes, and?
I don't know. What do I do next? Do I need a timeline? This is
No,
stressful.
I don't know. No, but the thing is, the whole idea with the yes and game is you kind of said it like, I'd like to feel like I'm not dying. You just want to basically kind of whittle it down
Yeah.
to the lowest common denominator of like the why you're doing what you're doing.
Yes.
You don't have to play the improv game. But yeah, so those would be the things that I would like to use, or I like to use with people as a strategy. So top 3 goals, they're easy to access. You probably already know them, but then do the sticky part of how will I know when I've achieved it?
Yeah.
And then what's left is these 3 things that you can work on. And then you pick one.
Yeah.
Pick one and then kind of move through it.
Yeah. I love that. And I love the idea of picking one, right? And it doesn't mean you can't do anything
Yes.
else this year, but we know that if you take off one thing first, and especially action-based things like Sasha's talking about, it's much more successful based on both the research on behavior, like as much as I also want to do all the things, and Sasha and I have this conversation all the time that I cannot, it's not effective, right? And so if you can go one, and then as soon as I get there, number 2, I can start on it. It's so helpful for that sustainable change. I love that question, Sasha. I love the like, how do you know? Because I think that's a really nice one too. And even with like weight loss, like, well, how do you know you got the right weight? Like, what does 20 pounds mean to you? Like, what would that be different? So actually, I might harvest that for myself and my people. So we would love to know, either comments below if you're on Instagram or on YouTube, like, what are your goals? And
Yeah.
you want to feel, what are those actions? What would that look like? Like, let's chat about it. And we're going to finish up today with our best moment of the week. And honestly, I would also like to hear your best moment of the week below, because that just makes me so happy. Sasha, what is your best moment of the last week? What made you happy?
Yes, it's seeing Stella, my dog, in the snow. She is like Michelle Pfeiffer in Scarface when that happens.
I love the reference, especially because Stella is like the sweetest of all the puppies. When she's spicy, it's fun. It's super fun. No one's surprised when Loki's spicy. That's like his basic instinct.
Yes. Best moment of your week, Michelle.
So I had a few girlfriends over for a little like Christmas party on Saturday, and we had like lots of wine and an impromptu dance party in my kitchen. And honestly, it was just so fun and relaxing. And those moments are just like the ones that stick with me. So I feel like I made a new little core memory, and I love that. I totally love that. Thank you guys for being here. We would love to hear all about what your goals are and your challenges in setting them. Any best moments in the comments below. And if you have ideas for what you want us to share next time,
yes, please.
message us. We would love to hear them. Thank you so much, and we can't wait to see you in the new year.
We'll see you in episode 4.
Bye, guys.